Greetings YouTube, LMS Tactical here. Just got done taking Charlie for his swim. So he's all wet. But you know, as much as I hate to even get into it, I guess I'm gonna have to make a statement regarding the Charlottesville thing that went down in Virginia. Nothing that I say, this seems to be a constant disclaimer of mine, and that's just because I pretty much know how my followers, my listeners, how you guys think for the most part. So not much of what I say is going to be anything new or some revealing thought. I think most of us are going to agree on this stuff, and if not, you know, feel free to pipe up, and I'm interested to hear where the disagreement is. In absolutely no order of occurrence, I'm just going to say things as they flow through. The first thing I want to say is, you know, my heart goes out to all three people who lost their lives. I can't remember the girl's name that was murdered, but I also noticed that in all of the hatred and the seething emotions that go along with this type of thing, it seems like the two police officers that lost their lives in the helicopter crash are on the back burner. I have only heard them mentioned a couple of times on the news, and I find that kind of sad. I still don't know enough as to, you know, what caused that, if that was pilot error or mechanical failure, but whatever the case, it was a tragedy, and you know, my heart goes out to that department and to the families of the officers that lost their lives that day. You know, like most conservatives, I'm just nauseated at this whole fake outrage from the left about Trump not speaking up fast enough. You know, the sick part of the left, one of the most frustrating and sickest parts, is their blatant hypocrisy. You know, these same people, especially on CNN and MSNBC and all these people on Twitter and Instagram, all these people that pretend to be so outraged about Trump's failure to specifically identify a particular group, none of them uttered a fucking word when Obama refused to call radical Islam. He was calling, you know, attacks by Islamic extremists, he would call them workplace violence or man-made catastrophes or some bullshit liberal poppycock crap. You know, and they didn't have a problem with that. When did Obama, unless I missed it, when did he ever identify the Black Lives Matter groups that were walking around calling for the murder of police officers, which ultimately ended up happening in Dallas and other places? And I think it was down in Texas and other places. How many cops have been murdered, and how many Black Lives Matter scumbags have been walking around saying, what do we want? Dead cops, when do we want them now? I didn't hear these same fucking liberals uttering anything about that. You know, and what about all these so-called Antifa cockbiters that are burning down the place over there in Oakland, California, and throwing shit at cops and hurting cops and burning down buildings and smashing windows? Where's the outrage? And where's the I don't remember any of these liberals talking out or speaking out against their actions, and those are all terrorists. You know, and you know, they want everyone to believe, they try to convince themselves, and the ones that believe it are just non-thinking cocksuckers who let the fucking news do their thinking for them, and liberal fucked up so-called college professors do their thinking for them. And those are the ones that want to feel guilt-ridden because they're against this type of terrorist activity. And I'm talking about the type that comes from Black Lives Matter and these Antifa cocksuckers. Okay, so there's somebody out there right now that's already typing on the keyboard, oh, I guess you're a Klansman, or you're a pro-KKK, or you're a white supremacist. Couldn't be further from the truth, but I'm not going to stoop too low to try to absolve myself from something that I've never been a part of and don't believe in. You know, the fact that I say that all people that are violent and inflict injury upon others because of the way they think are fucked up, I shouldn't have to list a specific group to make you stupid fucks happy. You guys can kiss my pink ass. I mean, it's common fucking sense. You know, and everybody that was involved down there, if you look at it from the facts that we do know, I think the original protest was a KKK thing. And, you know, how many members are in the KKK anyways? Like fucking 20 left in the entire goddamn world? I mean, the KKK is so fucking yesterday. But let's just say they had 100 fucking people. I think they came and left before any of the shit started. So fuck them. And, you know, listen, man, my family on my father's side was exterminated in Hitler's fucking concentration camps. I'm as far away from the KKK as you could possibly get. And white supremacist, I doubt it. Both of my wives have not been white, and I've never dated a white woman, as I've said a million times here. I'm in an interracial marriage now. You know, so fuck you guys. But that doesn't mean that I'm ashamed to be white. Anyone that's ashamed to be white is a fucking idiot. A fucking complete, pathetic, bottom-feeding, cock-sucking idiot, in my humble opinion. Why would you be ashamed? I didn't have a fucking slave. None of my family had slaves. And even if my fucking family did have slaves, it ain't me. These people are people that cannot think for them fucking selves, you know. My grandfather, God rest his soul, he was Jewish, raised Jewish, practicing Jew, spoke Hebrew. He said, when I got stationed in Germany, I was getting ready to go to Germany when I was in the army in the 80s. And he says to me, don't you ever forget what those people did to your family. Well, of course I don't forget what the ones that did it did. But I wasn't in Germany more than 3 days before I was fucking German chicks and in love with German chicks. So I guess I have dated white people because Germans are white. But, you know, I'm going to hold somebody in 1980 responsible for what somebody did in the 40s and the 30s? No. But you got these stupid motherfuckers that want to look in the mirror and say, I had slaves, I'm guilty, I'm guilty. Fuck that. And any black person who thinks that I'm fucking responsible for something that didn't happen to them and happened to people they can't even fucking name can kiss my ass. Fuck you. I'm not guilty of anything. You know, this whole racism thing has been forced upon us by people that are pulling the strings, and you guys are too fucking, not all of you, but the ones that buy into this are too stupid to fucking see it. You know, we basically live in a fucking, not just a slave state, but speaking of slaves, we're all slaves. The whole fucking world is slaves when you think about it, because there's probably less than 1,000 fucking individuals that are controlling what all the rest of mankind fucking does and who they hate, who they fight, and everything else. And these are subjects that have been fucking discussed ad nauseum by other people smarter than me. But the fact of the matter is, most of us are being played like fucking puppets. You know, the liberals are told by the left and by these stupid fucking people that have hijacked the educational system, the higher educational system. They're told who to fucking hate. In most cases, it's themselves. If they're white, Christian, and straight and male, then they're told to hate themselves. Think for yourself, you stupid fucks. Don't buy into that shit. I didn't have nothing to do with that girl getting killed yesterday, so I have absolutely zero fucking guilt about it. I think it's fucked up. I think the asshole that did it needs to fucking spend the rest of his life in jail. And that's called committing a crime and paying for your fucking crime. I have no way to feel fucking guilty. I don't feel guilty for slavery. I don't feel guilty for Jim Crow. I don't feel guilty for jack shit. The only guilt I would have is things that I've done personally. And if that is a concept that is beyond your ability to grasp, then you're fucking severely mentally retarded. If it's a concept that you understand but refuse to grasp, then you're severely manipulated, and you're just unable to fucking think for yourself, and you're a disgrace. You know, the black people that fucking say that we should be one nation, we should be Americans, are immediately written off as fucking sellouts and Uncle Toms by these pathetic cocksuckers that just want, either they're looking for a race war, or they're convinced that that's what we got to do, you know, by the fucking, the Hillary Clinton. This is a race war that fucking would have happened, that, you know, this is what the Clintons want. They want race war, okay? And the liberals want race war. Why do they want it? They want it because it's easier to control a society when you can put the hammer down. They can't put the hammer down until there's a lot of people dead and cities are burning. Then they can come out and say, okay, well, we got to confiscate all the guns. You know, although yesterday, or when this thing happened, as I recall, everybody was armed with fucking sticks with nails coming out of them and fucking all kinds of shit. In other words, the killing won't stop because you take the guns. That's a whole different subject. The point is, society is so easily manipulated by these motherfuckers that want to take away your rights, and these same stupid people that are running around like robots doing what they're fucking manipulated to do are going to be the ones that are going to have to live in the totalitarian fucking North Korean-like regime that the United States is going to be. That's what we're going to have for a country. You know? And if you think I'm fucking wrong Watch what happens in the next couple of elections. I will probably live long enough to see the beginning of it. I think Donald Trump is going to be the last fucking rational human being to ever sit in that White House. I think what's going to happen next, because people saw that he won the election, and then you got fucking people like Oprah fucking Winfrey, who now is considering running and who would probably win because everybody's like, oh, Oprah, she speaks, everything she says is right. You know, Oprah would fuck this country up in 5 minutes. Then you got the guy that fucking, what's the guy's name that owns Facebook? What's his face? That motherfucker. He's too young to run, but he will be old enough in about 6 months, and he's already putting his feelers out to run. And he would probably win. He controls fucking Facebook. Come on, there's your election right there. The young people watching this video are going to live to see, my father and I were just talking about this, you're going to live to see fucking football stars become the president. Actors and actresses are going to become, I guess they're all actors now, they're going to become president. It'll become that kind of a country. And the minute one of them gets in, imagine what they're going to do. Okay, we're going to disband, take away guns, we don't need guns, everybody's going to have fucking solar panels on their fucking roof. We don't really need a military anymore. You know, the rest of the world is not as fucked up as we are in terms of understanding that you got to have fucking power to have freedom. And so while these fucking liberal dreamers are planting fucking unicorns and shit all over the fucking country and taking away our strength, like Obama did, they're going to be responsible for the demise of this country. Part of me is excited to watch it happen from a perspective, or like a viewer's perspective. It's going to be kind of fun. Because fuck it, I've seen America at its best, and now I'm seeing it head toward its worst. I'm just going to look at it as a fucking reality show and enjoy it. But, you know I fucking digressed. That's how I roll. As far as this other thing that happened in Virginia, I'm sorry it happened. I think it's just a beginning. We're going to see it again and again. But I think that all of us, every one of us, even if it doesn't amount to anything, just for the sake of doing the right thing, we have an obligation to speak out and demand that these stupid fucking Republican leaders, like the GOP, they're full of cocksuckers, these self-righteous motherfuckers, and these liberal fucking politicians that want Donald Trump to name specific groups, we got to demand the same thing of these assholes. I want to hear fucking Black Lives Matter, and Donald Trump needs to list Black Lives Matter as a fucking terrorist organization. And these Antifa cocksuckers, all of them, they need to all be listed in the same group with the KKK and any white supremacists and all this other bullshit. Anyways, that's it. I'm hungry. Time for me to go home. Hope you guys are doing good. Happy Monday. Have a great week. Stay safe. LMS Tactical. I'm out.